Hello, everyone. My name is Shelby Thomas, CEO of the Ocean Rescue Alliance. Thanks for joining us today. This is our bi-monthly series for the Ocean Rescue Alliance Marine Conservation. Today, we'll be having Stacy Brown, our Director of Education and CFO, speaking on our Coral Rangers program. Stacy, if you'd like to take it away, and we'll be talking a little bit more on specific upcoming events at the end of the presentation.
Hi, everybody. So today I'm going to have an overview of our Coral Rangers program. Recently, we've expanded it. Before, it was predominantly geared to middle schoolers and high schoolers because that's how it started out. But now we really like to expand that. So anyone who wants to take part in our activities and our citizen science programs are able to. So for those of you who are interested in coral conservation, this is the program for you. It's going to allow for you to do a variety of activities with us. And a lot of people constantly are asking, what are those types of activities and how did they participate in them? So some of you might be aware of coral restoration activities in the Keys with friends of our Florida Reefs and with the Bleach Watch and other programs that are predominantly focused on just intro to education on the coral reefs. And we'd like to expand those types of programs offered in the Keys to our Broward County and West Palm Beach residents through this program. So introducing our community to coral restoration and being able to offer reef-focused opportunities and showcasing all of the different opportunities so that everyone can make a difference in our oceans and in the ocean reef systems. We'd like to make sure that everyone's aware of the current issues that are affecting our reef systems, the different diseases that are happening, and the different bleaching events that might happen due to a variety of things like temperature extremes and unfortunately just things like anchor damage and fishing line entanglements that might happen as a result of scuba divers and fishermen using the reef systems. We also would like this program to enable our local businesses and colleges and other nonprofits to help the residents be able to participate in different restoration activities. We really focus on trying to keep all of the local nonprofits and the nonprofits around the state engaged in different activities, and we try to fulfill those goals in a variety of ways. We currently have different networks with Coral Restoration Foundation and down in the Keys, South Florida Association of Environmental Professionals here locally. And then, of course, we originally started working on building out even science labs for students and participants to engage in different activities through the Urban Farming Institute in Oakland Park. Here's some photos from different students in our programs working on lab experiments, learning about water quality, learning about the different elements that affect the reefs, such as nitrates and phosphates. And then, of course, there's different pictures here from our actual reef systems that we've deployed in West Palm Beach. So the main focus for why we're doing these is to help with some of the issues that are facing our reefs. So of course, our question is, what are some of those problems? Many of you are aware of issues like pollution, plastics in the waterways, different elements that are from sewage outfalls, and all of those different things kind of unfortunately put the coral and the coral reefs under stress. And then when those corals are under stress, unfortunately, they bleach. And then also sometimes they're more predisposed to diseases like stony coral tissue loss disease and black band and other issues that our coral reefs face. Our coastal reefs help with coastal erosion so that they prevent wave heights and high wave energies. When we have hurricanes come through our state, as many of you are aware, we have storm surges that continue on inland and then unfortunately cause more beach erosion. And if we are able to help restore our reef systems, then we're able to reduce those wave heights and reduce those wave energy so that we have less of that. And of course, less of that means there's less need for beach renourishments, which unfortunately end up covering our reef systems as well. So it creates this vicious cycle of covering our reef systems and increasing those wave heights and wave energies. Of course, our reefs help with habitat for our fish. And our local economy is very reliant on those activities, scuba diving, snorkeling, and beach goers, and then of course the fishing trips and the like that all add into the economic value that our reefs are able to provide for our local economy. We want to make sure that we create reef systems which are very diverse. So we want to create a complex habitat, and that complex habitat that we have enables for a variety of organisms to live there and to increase the various complexities that they need, such as a variety of species. So some of the opportunities that we currently provide are Bleach Watch trainings, which is the information in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. There's fish ID trainings as well, which we are going to be offering. And then once you've taken those 2 trainings, then you have the opportunity to dive the reef systems, not just our artificial reef systems, but all reef systems, and participate in different monitoring events, as well as fill out different information to relay information back to our state authorities so that we can have a good picture with your help of the different issues affecting the reefs, and we can get a good idea of fish counts and general reef health. We also will have opportunities such as beach cleanups as part of our program as well. The next one is going to be on the 22nd of April, and we're going to have one here in Dania Beach as well as one in Baker's Cay in the Keys, so that we have two events happening that day. So please make sure you look out on our Facebook pages for different information on those upcoming events. So I was super happy to see that Friends of Our Florida Reefs and the DEP put out again this year for their Earth Month a variety of great classes for people to take part in. So like I said, the Bleach Watch training is going to be happening April 20th. And that's like a precursor to all the different things that are happening on the reef. It gives you a nice overview of different types of coral, and also gives you a nice overview of issues that they're experiencing and how you can help do reports on that to affect the change and let people know that there are issues. But there's some fish ID classes happening, as well as marine invertebrates and some other awesome opportunities for you to really learn the different aspects of our marine systems and why they're so important and why everyone should care, so that then within your community, you're able to go out and actually teach others the same thing, and then hopefully have, of course, butterfly effect of your impact into everyone else in our community. These are just some close-ups so that you can take a screenshot if you'd like of the different upcoming opportunities with the DEP and Friends of Our Florida Reefs. And like I said, again, this is the Bleach Watch training up top here. Highly recommend that one. That's a great one to start with to learn more about our program. And this is just an overview real quick of our first deployment in Riviera Beach, in case any of you haven't seen it. This was our first deployment back in 2019. 18 modules were deployed, and this video is about a month after the reefs were deployed. So it was right with the Riviera Beach Marina dive site, and so luckily we had a lot of life real quick, taking advantage of our structures. This is 9 months after the structures were deployed. As you can see, we already had sponges and epiphytes that were growing on that. We have some newly released footage that we're going to be putting out shortly, which is where we are currently with this project, and some great developments with that. And then in 2020, we deployed the 52 modules, also in the Riviera Beach location. And this is a little quick overview of that. This we deployed one very large mermaid sculpture, and then a lot of other sculptures. So we had a marine memorial with this as well. And our first memorial reef was also deployed with this. And while we were in the process of doing the second reef, we really felt that there was a need to further structure our reefs so that it's not working. So that we are now focusing more on low profile modules. The low profile modules predominantly are to increase interstitial space, to create a more biodiverse look for a reef and a more natural looking reef. So if you can see the difference on the right-hand side, that was like the first rendition of the low profile modules that went out. And on the left-hand side is now a much more complex reef system, allowing for a lot of other spaces and crevices for different organisms to live in. With each of our modules, we put in coral locks. Coral locks the end goal for Coral Lock is that we'll be able to allow for our coral rangers and the participants in our program to help us with outplanting activities. And we do that by taking coral of opportunity from reefs such as Osborne Tire Reef and then relocating those to coral nurseries, fragging them out in different manners depending on if they're branching coral or rounding coral, and then be able to then transplant those over to our actual reef, hopefully in Dania Beach. And ideally, we might be able to do that within this next year. And Shelby, if you'd like to give a little update on our current restoration activities.
Sure. Well, thanks, Stacy. So we've been, as maybe some of you have joined on our last call, talking a little bit more about the coral lock technologies. We've had some other developing projects, and we're now really excited to be deploying actually outplanting 6,000 corals this summer with 1,200 coral units, just as you see in this photo. We'll be outplanting different versions of boulder corals, and we're looking at increasing the growth and reskinning of these structures to create a larger, more reproductive coral. And we've been doing this with a lot of different restoration groups, in this larger project that will be beginning in the beginning of May. We'll incorporate Mote Marine Laboratories, the University of Miami Rescue Reef project, as well as with the Coral Restoration Foundation and FWC, as well as KML. So we're really fortunate to be involved with a lot of different organizations to accomplish some of these same goals, and we'll be outplanting from the Lower Keys all the way up through Martin and Broward County. So there's actually 6 different restoration sites. We're really happy to be expanding these different coral lock abilities, and we're also looking at now testing acroporids, so different branching corals with a new structure design. So certainly stay tuned for some more updates of the different restoration projects we have going on. We'll be uploading some of those to our websites here hopefully soon. So take a look on social media and our websites for more updates.
Awesome. So another awesome thing that we're very happy to announce is going to be our summer 2021 deployment here in Dania Beach and Broward County. And with that reef modules build, we'll have 20 reef modules being deployed, and we'll have a couple of sculptures put on that as well. It will be mermaid focus. And then obviously we're also integrating those low profile habitat modules that I showed previously. The top right is a rendering of some of those, and they will have different sculptures on them, one of which will be turtles, because that's something that a lot of the Dania residents wanted to include within the project. So a very interesting build out that we have happening this summer. And along with that, we'll also have engagement opportunities. We'll have a Bleach Watch training as a component of this, and we'll be able to have different monitoring activities after the deployment as well, which we would love for you to take part in. We're also going to be doing some fish IDs and fish counts. So all those different opportunities will be posted on our social medias and on our websites. You're welcome to join us, of course, in any of these initiatives. The best way to do so is, of course, like I said, by following us on social media, by subscribing to our newsletter, and just generally keeping track of what we have that we're posting on all of our different outlets. And that's it, Shelby. You want to close up with some other opportunities?
Sure. If you'd like, you could end your screen, and we'd also like to open up the floor for any questions that you guys may have. We're really excited to be able to provide a little bit more hands-on opportunities. And as Stacy mentioned earlier, we do have several events scheduled for both Ocean Day and Earth Day coming up here in April, April 17th, as well as the 22nd. So please take a look at our website. We're going to be updating all of our event details there for local areas. And we're also expanding to do a little bit more beach cleanups and hands-on approaches. Especially looking into this summer, we're formalizing our dates currently for the coral outplanting project, but could also use the help of some divers and citizen scientists. We are expanding, also monitoring our site. So lots of ways to get involved at different capacities. We're still taking on interns and volunteers to help from everything with a website and social media. So you don't have to necessarily be a marine biologist to help. And we appreciate you guys coming on to learn a little bit more about our Coral Rangers program, and hope to work with some of you guys here soon. If anyone has any questions, feel free to chime in, or Evan, if you have anything to add. I think did you want to do the SMILE overview, Evan, or maybe save that for the next call?
We'll save it for the next call, but still encourage people to create fundraisers through Facebook fundraisers, like for birthdays, or you could do it for any cause initiative. And we also encourage people who want to go above and beyond and try to fundraise for their own artificial reef module. We have a GoFundMe option for fundraising there, which is a little bit more expansive. So any questions, feel free to email us or reach out, and we'll be glad to walk you through that.
And also, I think I forgot, on April 17th, we're going to have an event at the Museum of Decorative Arts in Dania. And so we'll have a post up with that also on our social media.
Certainly, and certainly sign up for our email listserv to get a little bit more of updates. We're planning to put out bi-weekly emails, so nothing too intrusive. We're not going to bombard anyone, but just to send out general information and updates of upcoming events and ways to get involved. Specifically for our Dania Beach deployment that's coming up this summer, if anyone's interested in looking at different plaques, we're also launching our Adopt a Coral program. So there's many ways to support the project, and whether you want to come out and create your own module, create a plaque, or support some of the restoration activities, everything's appreciated, and we would really love to engage you all. Certainly any questions, feel free to ask them now. If not, I think that concludes our call for today. So we got George on the line. Thanks for joining, George. And anybody can put anything in the chat too if they have questions.
Hey, Shelby.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, yeah. I'm just listening in. I'm kind of in the middle of something else, but I am listening in.
No problem.
Well done.
Thanks for joining. Glad to hear from you. Hope all is well. All right, well, it doesn't look like we have any questions. Thank you guys for joining. Feel free to chime in next time. We'll have our, again, monthly video series. Next month we haven't decided on the topic, but please send us any feedback if you'd like to learn about anything specifically of some of our upcoming projects. We're going to bring on several different guest speakers. So we might bring one of our restoration practitioners like the Coral Restoration Foundation or marine laboratories on to talk. So if you have any specific interest, feel free to let us know, give us some feedback, and we'd love to hear it. And if not, we'll catch you next time. Thanks so much for joining.